Managing a remote team can sometimes feel like herding kittens, right? It can feel chaotic, disorganized, and completely overwhelming. And I'm going to show you how a remote team can be high-performing. Coming up next on Project Skills Mentor. Hi, I'm Liz, the Project Skills Mentor, and in my 35 years of managing remote teams, I'm going to share with you my top tips. These game-changing best practices are going to keep your teams running smoothly and you on the top of your game. Remote work isn't just a trend, and even with changes happening in the marketplace, it's not going away completely anytime soon. In fact, in my example of remote teamwork, we were doing a large implementation of multiple countries. We had a core team working in Europe, but basically satellite teams working everywhere else. And simultaneously, while we were in all of these countries, we were developing multiple streams of work, new functionality, features, but also service centers, a user portal, and more. All of this happening at once? How did we do it? Let's talk about some of the problems I faced and you may be facing in terms of managing a remote team. The most obvious breakdowns are things like communication. Distance is not a friend. Time zone changes make it even more difficult. A recent survey revealed that 74% of remote workers cite poor communication as their biggest hurdle. But don't worry, we can fix that. And miscommunication has a knock-on effect. Missed deadlines. By misunderstanding each other, we are not in alignment. And when you're not in alignment, you are much more likely to miss key deadlines. Finally, team burnout. Teams that are in that state often burn out. The frustration of working hard but not moving forward is real. Sound familiar? You're not alone. But don't worry, we can fix that with the right tools and strategy. So now let's go through those top tips I have for best practices you can put into place, whether you're part of the remote team or part of the lead team. Bring these ideas to your next team meeting if you're interested in trying to adopt a better way of working. Use a great tool like Trello or Asana to track everything online so everyone has the same information instantaneously. Tools like Trello are based on Kanban boards. What you need to do, what's already done, what's in the queue, what's in the backlog. This can help you track the work that needs to be done and assign it to the proper team members. Another top tool is Slack. It's not just another chat tool. It has centralized communication that can be summarized by team type or by role type or function for real-time updates, file sharing, and even fun team building exercises, which are necessary even for remote teams. And if your project is beginning to scale, Asana may be the tool you want to be using. And if you're on a tight budget, here's my top tip. Most of these tools have a free version. Check them out, test them out before committing with a price. Now let's talk about some of the best practices related to the team. Get your best practices for your team in place and shared understanding and alignment with everyone. Set clear expectations. Start each project by defining roles and responsibilities. This is key. Foster communication. Schedule quick, regular check-ins. A quick 10-minute daily stand-up by Zoom can keep everyone aligned. But here's something else. Your communications don't always need to be words. It can be something as simple as a picture of the process you're working on today. Prioritize accountability. By using status updates and having people come back to you with what their skin in the game is, what they're assigned to, what they understand the deadline to be, and how they're going to make it happen will keep them engaged, involved, and held accountable for the work to get done, no matter what time zone they're on or where they are. Remember, status updates are not there to micromanage your team. It's there to share the accountability and make sure everyone understands what everyone else is doing. And you also want to support team morale. This means remote work, which can be isolating, needs to have a community component. Virtual team building and, when possible, live team building are so important. And here's a couple of ways you can do this. If you're doing team training, have someone who's maybe an unsung hero and a subject matter expert on the topic do the training. And have a Q&A where you call it kooky Q&A. Everyone can ask as crazy a question as they want. And the worst thing that can happen is they don't ask and people do the wrong thing or do it in the wrong way. The simplest thing to do is have an open forum for Q&A so people can ask the questions that may be obvious, but not to them, not that day. And sometimes the issue is obvious, but the process isn't always. A virtual coffee, a trivia game, or something else, just to build the team camaraderie. Don't underestimate the need for the team to feel supported and connected. Even high-performing teams can get blocked by having a challenge they just can't seem to overcome. So stop, make it a workshop, talk it through. You might find the process is actually broken. Share, document, and get alignment first. And if you want to know how to do that, I've got a whole video on how you can create a user journey that can help you do just that. So when your team is facing time zone challenges, which is a real thing, then find time zone buddies, people who can connect offline or are willing to work outside their normal hours to maintain the continuity between teams as they come on and offline. For technical glitches, create a SWAT team to come in and talk about the problem across the board so that every team has a chance, no matter where they are, to give their input to what the glitch is doing to them and ideas on how to solve it. And if your team is coming to you with a sense of overwhelm, a loss of purpose, and a loss of direction, you need to stop and check in on burnout. Burnout can come in a lot of different flavors, but once one person's starting to face burnout, it's likely others are as well. So you'll need to answer this and figure out, are we overworked? Are we overstretched? Maybe we're trying to do too many things at once, juggling too many balls in the air. If so, what's one or two simple things the team can do as a whole to try to mitigate the burnout? Teams needs these three things: tools to help them be very efficient and effective, a way of working that fits that team's culture, size, and spread, but then also how it fits the personalities on the team to make sure you don't hit burnout. Remote work can be one of the most effective ways to get things done, but managers need to work every day to keep their team high performing. I hope you found this information helpful. If you did, give the video a like, consider subscribing to the channel, and check out these videos. And I hope to see you next time on ProjectSkillsMentor.com. Bye-bye, everybody.